Hey ladies, this is Underwired. Welcome to the show designed to uplift and support women all over the world.
Hey, I'm Lindsay. They call me the kindest kahuna and the imaginal connector. I love puppies, travel, great coffee, and all of you out there who love humanity.
I'm Betsy Wiersma, a serial entrepreneur and lover of doing good and having fun. My passion is connecting hearts and souls with art, ideas, and adventures.
Hey, I'm Shay Sparks. As an energetic catalyst and fearless communicator, I love to have great conversations with amazing people.
And I'm Sunny, mom of 4, here to shed light on what really matters. Together, we're Underwired. And now for the show.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Underwired Live. This is our first show of season 2. We are so excited to be live. It was a blast in season 1. Thank you for all your love and your comments and your following. And now, every Monday night, Underwired's going to be live. Woo-hoo! Hey, to get started tonight, let's see, where's Waldo? Or in this case would be, where in the world are the Underwired women? Let's start with Sunny. Sunny, where are you hailing from today?
Yeah, so I'm in Southern California. I'm not actually in San Diego. I am in a suburb, if you will. I don't know if San Diego really has suburbs, but I'm close. I'm close. I'm about 30 minutes away from San Diego. So I'm in the northern part of San Diego County.
All right, we got a California checking in. Miss Shay, where in the world are you today?
I'm in Central Florida. I'm on the East Coast, and not to be connected or not to be misinterpreted, whatever you call it, mistaken. That's the word for the Gulf Coast. I'm on the East Coast. That most people are like, "What is that?" People go there. Yeah, people even live here. I live in Central Florida, and it is about an hour east of Orlando.
All right. And then Miss Lindsay Andriotti, where are you hailing from today?
Well, I just feel so fortunate to be on the ground at the moment. I left Daytona Beach this morning, and I am now in Snohomish, Washington. I flew 3,500 miles across the country, got my screen into position, and I am here in Washington State.
You're a trooper.
Right. We're west, we're east, we're west. Now we're back east, and I am in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, very close to Titusville and close to Daytona Beach here on the east coast of Florida. We are just so happy to be here. Tonight, we have a fantastic show, and our theme is freedom! Freedom! I know you're thinking of singing, dancing, we got all that. But, in a live show, we have so much fun commentary and so many great conversations built just for you. And we always start with some words, a B word, an R word, and an A word. And I get to start. Betsy starts with the B word tonight. And my B word is brave. Brave. Now, I want to tell you the definition of brave because I wanted to look it up for myself. Ready to face it or endure danger or pain. Ready to face or endure danger or pain. Showing courage is also called brave. To endure without showing fear. To be brave or to brave the elements. The synonyms: fearless, valiant, courageous. Well, at first, at the top of my head, when I think about brave, I want to do a shout out to all the families that have done military service here and across the world, because so many people are brave and just defend our country no matter what. So I'm going to give you a few numbers because I always love to do my research. There are 19 million veterans. And I know Shay's got a really heart for all of them. Shay's heart is so big. She takes in 19 million of them. She loves those veterans. There's 5 branches in the service here in the United States. 2,395,993. That's a very exact number are serving right now. 50.9% in the Army. The Air Force comes in about 25%, the Navy 20%, the Coast Guard 2.3%, and those Marines are 1.3%. Now, I thought this was really interesting too. 45% of people who serve are under the age of 25 years old. So that's a lot of people just launch into that to get that education, get started serving their country, see the world, many, many great benefits. 21% are 26 to 30 and 11% are 36 to 40. Only 8% are over 41 years old. So I thought those were some pretty good statistics, and a shout out to all those people that serve. So what I want to know from you, ladies, is I want to think about courage and the things we have been brave in our own lives. And I got to tell you, my biggest bravery lately has actually been feeling all the emotions of grief in the loss of my dad.
Yeah.
It has been it's been very brave to actually cry and actually be in this moment, because my old self, my 20-year-old self, my 30-year-old self would have made up a crazy story called don't feel it. Don't feel it. Stuff it away. Just eat a Dairy Queen Blizzard and it'll be okay. But I do think a Dairy Queen Blizzard helps it be okay,
It does
but I
help.
digress.
It does help. It helps.
But
Just saying.
different than fighting in the military service. For me, on a personal level, it's really been gut wrenching and rocking to feel the sadness of both my mom and dad both being gone, and to really be in that moment, very vulnerable and crying at crazy things. So if I cry on the show, it's not you girls. Just saying, the flashback. So I want to know from my sisters here on this show. Let's tell the truth to our audience, because that's what this show is all about. Really going a little deep. And where have you been brave? Remember, showing courage and confidence and being ready to face or endure danger or pain, or to fear, to endure without showing fear. So I'm going to call Lindsay on you. What comes to mind when you think about bravery and the B word of brave?
Oh, I love this word, and I love the concept of bravery. I heard that courage is the notion of feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And I can tell you that recently it seems like there's a lot of opportunities to have that kind of courage and to be brave. The thing that came to my mind though, Betsy, grief is definitely one to face those emotions and feelings. The one that also came to my mind was asking for a divorce. Was one of the most brave moments of my life. And so everything else kind of pales in comparison. And I have had a really great relationship with my former spouse since that time. However, it took a lot of courage and bravery to be able to say, my boundaries are this. You've crossed them enough times. I'm not doing this anymore. Thank you for sharing, but we're coming undone. And I had 2 little kids, and I had to go through life, the rest of my life, with those 2 kids and being a single mom. And it was, that took a lot of courage to be able to do that. And, I love my life now. It's not like it's been a negative thing for 15 years or whatever it was that when that took place. But, it just took a lot to be able to say, this is it. I'm done with that. So that was probably my bravest
Shout out
moment.
to you.
That's
That's a
big.
very personal one. A very,
Huge.
very, very good one. Okay, I'm going to go Sunny next to you, Sister Sunny. What comes to mind?
Yeah, the first thing that I thought of is something that I'm kind of at the tail end of now. But as you guys know, I have 4 kids, and up until this point, they've been in public schools their whole life. And we are transitioning. We are done with public schools. I've wanted to be done with public schools for a long time now, but didn't really have the support behind me to do it and kind of just make it happen. So I have been doing a lot of research and on the call, like on the phone, and talking to different schools, trying to figure out what we're going to do next. So we're at the tail end of that whole process. So my kids are doing online school, starting at some are starting in the middle of August, some are starting at the end of August. And for a lot of people, when you say online school, they think of like school like during COVID, right? When everyone just had to put on Zoom and whatever, and the kids hated it. But the schools are so amazing. The ones that are built to be online schools are incredible what they do. And so my bravery is being able to say with confidence what I'm doing with my children, and to be able to be okay with whatever the response is. Like, for example, my mom was like, okay, but I feel like they need in-person instruction too. So let's do this. And I'm like, no. This is what we're going to do. This is what I think is best for the kids. And if we need something in addition after we start to do this a little bit, if they need a tutor or whatever that's in person, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But whenever you do something unusual like this, you get like, and I'm sure, anyone in our audience, like anyone that homeschools their kids, you probably get those kind of looks too. Whenever you break outside the norm with whatever you're doing, you're going to get people looking at you like, why don't you just do what everybody else does? So I think it is brave to be able to say, no, I know my kids. I know what my kids need. I have been doing research on this. I found what I think are some of the best schools specifically out there for what how my kids learn. And so, yeah, we're at the tail end of this now. I'm super excited. I think that they're going to love school in a way that they quite frankly don't now.
Wow.
And
Sunny,
so
go girl.
we're doing it. We're
Yay,
being
the
brave
crowd
in
goes
school.
wild.
Yay! Pow, pow, pow.
Yay.
They will do
Okay.
great.
And
They will do
Shay,
great, Sunny.
I think of you as my superhero of bravery because I know you so well. But which one are you going to pick today in our couple minutes we have left in this segment?
Well, what's funny, when you first started talking and you was talking about the blizzard, I was like, yeah, I would have to be brave to take a blizzard because I'm lactose intolerant. But then,
Oh, that blizzard.
but that blizzard, yeah.
Blizzard.
Awesome.
Okay. The Dairy Queen
The
blizzard.
Dairy
Oh,
Queen
okay,
blizzard. I
gotcha.
mean,
Good one,
bless
Shay.
your
Good
heart,
one.
but it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
But you hit on grief, and I have endured so much grief over my life, but specifically with both of my parents and my brother, 2 years apart from each one of them. And I was able, or had the opportunity, or had to, however you want to look at it, went back to work. And as I'm standing there in the salon talking to my clients, tears started to projectile out of my eyes while I'm doing someone's hair, not streaming down, not anything else, not quiet tears. No, they were literally projectiling out of my eyeballs onto someone's hair. And I am like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Now, before I would have been freaked out, embarrassed, and went like, oh, I have snot running down my face. But I will tell you, I put on the Brave Bee badge and I just said, excuse me for a minute. I need to blow my nose and I need to wipe my eyes and make sure the mascara has not run down my face, because clearly those tears that were projectiling, I've never experienced that before, but it was clearly needed to be released. That's all I can say.
Well, I'm just going to do a disclaimer to say there was no extra charge for the snot and the tears to that poor person's hair.
She got a free
You just threw
rinse.
that
It was
in.
just a rinse with
It
tears
was
as
extra,
opposed
an
to regular
extra
water.
thing.
Would you make a
Extra
shampoo
move.
recommendation,
There
Shay?
you go.
Extra move.
So,
Instead of hairspray, a little snot. Yeah.
okay. Well, hey, I just think that it's really cool to see all the different ways of bravery. And we have a live comment here. Go ahead, Lindsay. Could you comment on the Telegram live comment?
I would be happy to comment. I think it's really great. So Diane B said, I think these days being brave for myself is being in a worldwide transition. To watch the world change, knowing sometimes you are the observer and sometimes you are the creator. And I wrote back, I love that, Diane. Thank you so much. And I wrote back and I said, sometimes one of the greatest forms of bravery is just accepting what is, not trying to change it, not trying to make it something that it's not, just accepting it. And that is brave to do that.
Well,
we know
Diane,
there's
we
going to be a lot of people
appreciate-
facing that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the
Absolutely.
comment. And Shay, she thinks you're fun because I think she wants one of those special hairdos with the extra
Can I have the
eye
tear
stuff.
version, please?
So, yeah. Okay. Well, hey, we're going to get back to our next word. Coming up with the R word is Shay Sparks.
Well, I have the incredible honor of hitting on the R word, which for freedom for me is really about recovery. And my own walk of life, I have recovered from abuse. I have recovered from anger, addiction, being a bully, and being bullied. I have recovered from all of that. And I, of course, like all of us, we have a past, but the freedom that you feel when you are free from addiction, when you're free from abuse, when you are free from all these negative emotions is so light. You feel lighter. You feel as if you're bouncing through life and bounding like a deer rather than this heaviness that is weighing you down. And so when we were going through this and we decided we were hitting it off with freedom, I knew the R word had to be recovery because of all the things that we have recovered from. And so there's so many different things you can recover from. There's people pleasing, there's codependency, there's freedom, like Lindsay just talked about divorce, there's freedom from relationships. So has there been a time for you girls, has there been a time that you recovered from something and you felt that freedom, you felt it after that recovery? So Betsy, I'm going to start with you.
Well, I'm a chronic overdoer. And
Yeah.
I think it because I had, and this is past, had something that I would call was chronic not enough-ness, right? I had a
Yeah.
mom and dad who would say, I got straight A's today and I ran the honor society and I had a garage sale for the homeless. That was Saturday. And they go, great, what else you got?
And that is not an exaggeration. Just
And I did all those things. Okay. And so because my parents loved to score the next thing, I would bring home all the straight A's, but it was never enough. So I was not skinny enough. I was not pretty enough. Nothing was enough. And the weird part of the whole, both of them being dead, is like, I'm like, who am I pleasing now?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I found a folder called
Yep.
Betsy. There were thousands of things that they collected from my enoughness that I was trying to score. And look, I did this and I did this, I got this. Whoa, pick me, and now they're in heaven. So it's like, so I feel like I'm recovering from overdoing. And here's how I know. I've been working on a puzzle. I know, a puzzle. It's like for leisure. Like it's super fun. And my husband's like, what are you doing? Working on a puzzle? I'm like, I know. I'm working on a puzzle. Like it's for me. It's time for me. It's enjoying it for me. So I give permission to all the chronic overdoers to just say no, to just stop and take a big in breath. And what the heck? Let's do puzzles. I'm going to
What
post them.
kind
They're
of
so cute.
puzzle?
I love
it's a
that.
jigsaw puzzle.
Making? What is
It's a
it?
jigsaw puzzle of a piece of my art, and I made the mistake of choosing
nice.
the 800 pieces.
Oh, no.
and it's
So
really hard.
It's really hard, but I am very happy about every piece I get. And the last days I had with my dad, I was working on a puzzle, and I would say, Dad, I got one. Dad, I got one. Dad, I got one. And he was like, okay, I got you. Yeah, you got one. So it's really cool. I feel like I'm channeling my inner dad on the puzzle. But no, all kidding aside, it is really a hard thing to break, to continually do. And I'm really glad to be trying to work on that puzzle.
I love that, Betsy, because oftentimes we overcommit, especially as entrepreneurs. So good for you for really learning how to recover from that. Sunny, what about you? How do you feel?
So can this be something I'm in the process of recovering
Of
from?
course.
Okay. So I am making a concerted effort to not body shame myself. Right?
Ooh, yes.
That's a
Right.
good one.
Because this mama of 4 has done it. I am a pro at body shaming myself.
Yes.
Kind of like my own worst critic, but then I don't know. When we look around, it's everywhere, right? We're supposed to look a certain way. We're supposed to act a certain way or whatever. And I have found growing up that my body doesn't fit the mold of what is considered beautiful. And I get frustrated with that. And I remember when I was pregnant, especially when I was pregnant with my twins, I kind of had a newfound appreciation for my body because not only was I creating one human being, I was creating 2 human beings at one time. And I
Wow.
remember thinking, damn, my body is pretty awesome. When I was pregnant, I was like, because I had a good pregnancy. The girls came at like 35 weeks, so no NICU. Like my body did a really good job. And so after you have 4 children, your body doesn't always look the same. And so I've been on this kind of recovery process of and it's not just about losing weight and it's just about having an appreciation for everything your body goes through. Now, not only with kids, but for those of you who watch UNN and what we talk about on the news, our bodies have had a beating, okay? The powers that be out there have done everything to keep us down. And it has given me this newfound appreciation for being a human, being able to deal with all that stuff, plus all the other drama that happens in our lives. And just, I don't know, just being like, we're here, like we're at this precipice now of things changing. And we were living in lack, and now we're going to be living in abundance. And part of that is just loving yourself. And
Yeah.
and I don't know, like I can't say that I have this whole thing figured out, but when I look in the mirror now, what I'm trying to do, again, it's not just what size I am and, clothing size and whatever. It's just being like, you know what, you made it through today. You did a good job, Tomorrow's another day. It's going to be better. Whatever it is, it's just appreciating all of those different stages and knowing that your being, it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, and you are enough. And
Yes.
there you go. I know. I mean, I'm working
Yes.
through it. I'm not
Yes,
perfect.
yes,
but-
yes.
You
Yes,
know,
Sunny.
Sunny, I think we need to start t-shirts that say free from body shaming. So I love,
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Amen. And sorry
Lindsay,
for my
how-
really fun emoji, because I don't have an emoji here. So you got the cup emoji.
There
That's
you
You
go.
got the
cute. I
cup.
love that. The wink.
You got the wink cup.
The winking cup.
Lindsay, what
creative
about
emoji.
yourself?
I wanted to go back to the, pure addiction that I had to peanut butter parfaits from Dairy Queen, but we're going to skip that.
You guys are making me hungry. Stop.
I have recovered, I can tell you. And I think it's because I became lactose intolerant, Shay. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, all
I
those
hear
things.
ya.
I think, though, to really be, thoughtful about the word recovery, it is the ultimate freedom to face something that feels like it has control over you somehow,
Yes.
to just stare it down and go, this is not running my life. My life is my life. And so, one of the things that I think I would definitely cop to is that I used to be a total workaholic, and I would work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. And, unlike Betsy, I wouldn't necessarily have 49 things going on at the same time, but I would just stay and stay and stay until stuff got done. Until stuff got done, I got known as the person that was the GSD, the get
Mm-hmm.
stuff done. And
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and I kind of had to recover from that. It took me,
Mhm.
when I finally left I'll call it my official work that I was doing with corporations and with schools and all this other stuff. It took me almost 2 years to recover from that.
Sure. Yeah.
That sense of, I don't know what I'm supposed to do next, because I don't want to do 80 hours of anything except maybe sit by a pool. So it took a while, I mean, it really, and I think but it took also some bravery, a little
Mhm.
bit of grief, a little bit of telling my story and having good support around me, so that I could say, I don't want to do that anymore. Please don't let me go there. Keep me out of the woods. And I know Betsy has helped me with that. And I know I've helped her on that same channel sometimes, like, don't let me go there. And so recovery is a good word. And I really feel like we all have the opportunity to face something that's running our life that isn't what we choose, putting quotes around that for those who can't see us right now. Yeah. So thanks for
Yeah.
bringing it up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, again, it goes back to that overcommitting, right? It's
Yeah.
just the freedom you feel when you release some of those beliefs about I have to do it all.
Yes.
Yes.
And for me,
Myself.
it was a
Mhm.
worthiness thing, like
Yep.
if I don't, then who will? And
Right.
I still, every once in a while, I still have that. Like it'll creep right on back in. I'll be like,
Mhm.
ah, and I catch it. I do. I have to catch it. But it took a lot. So it's a big deal. And it
Awesome.
is ultimate freedom. Yeah, for sure. Now I sit by the pool more hours than I have to do work. That's the way I look.
Woohoo! That's
Yes,
the dream.
yes,
That's the American
yay,
dream right there.
yay. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Good.
Well, we have enjoyed the interaction on the Telegram channel. So, and love this live show. We're having so much fun. So, I just want to read something that Angelic wrote. And so, please forgive me if I botch names. So, she says, the first thought that came to me is being free to do what I want, when I want, go where I want, when I want. Then I thought freedom means many things: freedom of thought, expression, finances, health, sexual preferences. Then I thought, what is the ultimate freedom? The answer I came up with is freedom to choose. Amen.
Amen,
A
sister. Yeah.
high a
Crowd
high
goes
percentage
wild.
of time I have the freedom to choose. Yet, what is the best way to handle the times when a person feels stuck and based on those experience circumstances is unable to make a good choice? I will just say this really quickly, is that when you are unable to you feel stuck, is to look for more choices.
Mm.
And then you can see how many you actually have rather than just feeling like you might have one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, with that said, we're going to cut to break and can't wait to come back live.
Thanks for being there, everybody.
Hello and welcome to United Network News. I'm Sunny Galt. Now let's check in with our ground command, Kimberly Gogan, from the Office of the Guardian. And she has her whiteboard. Hi, Kim. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me. It's up to all of us to come together. I'm Sunny Galt. Join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the real news.
And we're back.
Yay. I love this live. This is so fun, girls.
It is. I'm so glad we're doing this live. This was always our dream, everybody in the audience. I mean, it was just
Yep.
really, we said this from the beginning. We got to do a live show. So this is super duper fun. I have the esteemed pleasure of working with the A word today. And our A word is American. I am so proud to be an American. I'm going to tell you, I love living in the United States of America. I love that I can travel around in these 50 glorious states and see wonderful human beings that come from literally all over the world to live here, because this is a land of opportunity and the ability to say what you want to say and be who you want to be. And I was thinking about it the other day. You know, here we are. It's July 3rd. Tomorrow is our Independence Day, where we declared that these states were going to be the freest place on earth. And I wanted to have a conversation about that with you ladies today. I think it's a lot of fun to think about what does it mean to be an American today? It's changing. It used to be different than what we thought, what our parents thought in the 50s and 60s. And, you know, I know for me growing up in the 80s, freedom felt like, you know, what you'd see on TV, Animal House and music. So I think it's really fun to consider what it means to be in America. And I brought my most American prop today that I could think of, because I think of Disney World as, you know, Americana. And I had to bring my 4th of July ears just for this segment. So, ladies, let's talk about this. What does it mean to you to be American? And, you know, what would you fight for to keep in this country that's really important? To be an American means what? You know, I love the topic. And I'm going to start with Shay. You're up in the right-hand corner on my screen. So I think that's where I want to go. Shay, what does it mean to you to be American?
Gosh, I think I have to go back to what Angelique or Angelic just said, was about the freedom to choose. I think for my own experience, I had this mindset wrapped up in my head that I didn't have a choice for many years. And it wasn't, and because I was in a relationship where I felt trapped, I didn't have a choice. And it wasn't until my dad was 6 months before he passed away, he's sharing with me the story of how he was drafted to Korea during the Vietnam War. And as he's telling me this story, he said the phrase, "I didn't have a choice." And when
Right.
he said those words, it like permeated my soul. And I went, wow,
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much that I inherited that fear mindset that he had taken on. And I think back to just so many different things of, you know, that type of thing that my parents would tell me, like, oh, you made your bed, you had to lie in it. that type of thing. And so being able to choose, which is why I said, when you feel like you're stuck, look for all the choices.
Yeah.
And if you can't find them, make them up. Right? Because that's really what it's about, is seeing that there's so much more possibility.
Yeah.
And I think in this country, we have opportunity and possibility and choice more than probably anywhere else on the planet.
That's awesome. Good one. Yeah, I love that. And I think you're right. We do have a lot of choice. Sometimes an overwhelming amount of choice. Look
Yeah,
in the
like
grocery store
what is
some
that?
days.
The
Whoa. Yeah.
like the Cheesecake Factory menu? Yes,
That's
overwhelming.
ridiculous. It's an encyclopedia. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all ads, you guys. It's all ads.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Sunny,
Which is
why don't
very
you go
American
next?
too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, right.
Sunny, how about you?
I mean, my whole take on this has changed a lot over the years. I grew up in a very patriotic family.
Mhm.
July 4th is a big deal, barbecue. Everyone came over my parents' house and red, white, and blue, everything. We would decorate. I had a, bikini at one point that was like stars and stripes, the whole deal, right?
Nice.
But I have a different view on things now. And while
Mhm.
I do agree that the United States might be the most free country out there, that word, every time I say it, I'm like, but we're not as free as we need to be. And
Nice.
no country out
Agreed.
there is.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Is.
I do appreciate living here. But what
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to most is everybody having true freedom. And I don't even
Mhm.
think we really know what that means yet.
I think you're
Right?
right. Mhm.
Agreed.
I mean,
Sovereignty.
it's sovereignty on a
Mhm.
whole other level. And
Yeah.
so I want this idea that a lot of Americans have of being free. I want the whole world to have that. And I believe that's the direction that we're going in. So I can't wait I think we got to pick a different day. It can't be July 4th. We'll pick another like World Freedom Day.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I love
That's
that.
what we need.
I want that day.
Right?
Yeah.
I think in general for
Yeah.
me though, if I were to pick a particular freedom or something that I love about the United States, it's under fire right now, and that is freedom of speech. I can't not say freedom of speech. This is what I do, and be able to
Yeah.
communicate the truth to people. It's been quite disheartening, especially for me, someone that came and studied as a journalist and was fighting for that kind of like, yeah, we got to get the truth out there. Like even when I was working at regular TV stations, like I had no idea how corrupt the system was.
Yeah.
And, it's just for me, it's so sad now to see like those freedoms being taken away. So when I think of freedom in the US right now, I'm kind of like, well, maybe more so than other countries, but
Yeah.
I'm just really looking forward to us all being able to communicate with each other, freely, to
Yes.
be able to travel and see each other freely, to not have all of this other BS restrictions that just holds humanity down.
Yeah.
And we've got a beautiful audience here that I'm sure agrees as well, because we're all chiming in from different countries,
Yeah.
right?
High
And
five
so
to that.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's but freedom is beautiful, and I'm just excited that we can share some of the things that have made America, at least in our minds, something that's been so special. I want the entire world to have that.
That's super. That is so good. Yay. Thank you. Because I completely concur with that thought process. We need World Freedom Day. And I think that living here in the US and having time to just kind of travel around and see people out there in this country and in others, quite frankly, the power and the ability to have free speech is absolutely
Huge.
our number one
Have
thing. It
to.
is the first, element in our Constitution. So, Betsy, how about you?
Well, you guys took a lot of mine.
That's okay.
So I could say ditto. That'd be really boring on a live show. So I'm going to go with, I always believe in the big God, which is this multidimensional faith that's bigger than any one way. I've always said I don't have a brand preference for my God. I like all of them, the big one, all of them, everywhere. I like the God particles that Sunny pointed out that are in the air around me. And what I love about America, in my experience, is that you can find a God community of your choice in whatever way you want to express them. I happen to be lucky enough to attend down here with Shay here on the East Coast of Florida in the United States, a Jesus church. And I tell you, I watch it online from Colorado when I'm home because the energy of so many people without boundaries, just celebrating their moment together to celebrate their God the way they want to. And I think that's what America, I really appreciate. That no matter who you are, you can find your way, your tribe of people that do it your way. And in my book, everything is good. All things lead to the same, to the good of the world, like Sunny said. So I'm all about, since you guys took all the transformation opportunity for entrepreneurs, that was mine. Next, darn. I went on the freedom to worship and to find your God your way, and the people that want to do it your way. And that there's lots of variety, as you can see, and that variety is all good. That's all going to the same way. That World Freedom Day. We're on the committee for World Freedom Day.
We are on the committee. I think Underwired has maybe just declared that there will be a World Freedom Day. So we should start that one.
I think we're going to start it.
I love it. This is so much fun. And thank you, Betsy, for bringing that in. I think the ability to, and the freedom to believe what you want to believe in the spirit of being good and purposeful with humanity is awesome. Like everyone wants that, I think. So super. You guys are amazing. God, I love this show. I should be sitting in the audience and listening to you too. This is great.
You can be a fan. Oh, you're on the show.
You are. Okay, I'm going to do that. No, all right. Well, I think that we have exhausted the conversation about being an American. I just really feel very proud to be an American, but I also want you to know that I also feel very proud to be human. And I think all of us are in that human channel. So let's go for it. Unless there's some, there's more to that story. We'll talk about that another time.
Today on the show, aliens.
Okay, so
it's a different show.
We're going outside the box to somewhere on the planet that was really cool. Sunny, take us away, please.
All right, everyone. So I have our outside the box segment, and a lot of times you guys see us and we've got the 4 boxes. So outside the box is taking us outside our little boxes to see the world, to show you some really cool things that are in our life. So in thinking about freedom, one of the things that my family does a lot, so I almost said I'm based here in San Diego. That goes along with what I'm about to tell you. I'm not based here in San Diego, but we live in the San Diego area. There is a military base here in San Diego called Camp Pendleton. I happen to be married to a Marine veteran, and we have access to go on base. And so we do this for various things. But last time, my husband and I and our 4 kids went on base. I took a little bit of video. I'll be honest with you. A lot of it didn't turn out. I was having video issues that day, but this will give you a general idea of what it's like to go on a military base. Welcome to the main gate at Camp Pendleton in Southern California. This gate is in Oceanside, and there's 4 other gates to help you get on base. All are open 24 hours a day and accessible as long as you have your military ID card. And yes, it does feel a little weird with people carrying around guns, but you'll get used to it. Camp Pendleton is a major West Coast military base for the U.S. Marine Corps. It's 125,000 acres, so it really feels like its own city. My family and I vacation here a lot, even when it's raining, because guess what? There's no sales tax. Everything is cheaper. Today I'm going to the military exchange store, which is kind of like a Walmart. You'll find these stores everywhere on base, as well as commissaries, which is another term for grocery store. Any business on base needs to have a contract with the government, so there's not a lot of variety. Here at Camp Pendleton, you basically have a Dunkin' Donuts and a Subway on every corner. Camp Pendleton is home to more than 300,000 military residents. If you're in the military, you could live on base for free in one of these dorms, I'm going to call them, which are all over base. But if you're married or have kids, you've got to move into military housing, and there are more than 7,000 housing units on base. But there's a wait time. Luckily for us, we are just visiting, and we're staying in these cute little cottages right on Del Mar Beach.
It's seriously the most beautiful and least busy beach in all of San Diego. So, welcome to Del Mar Beach on Camp Pendleton. This is a place that my family and I love to come. Usually it's just day trips, so we'll come out here on the weekend because look at this incredible beach. There's like nobody here. Look how wide this is. And then, I don't know if you're gonna see it like with my camera, because it's probably gonna just get really light back there, but the ocean's right there. It's gorgeous. And then here, I'll kind of give you, I'll do a little spin for you. I mean, it's just beautiful. All of this is just open and there's hardly anybody here. So we're here for a few days. We stay in these cottages. Usually they're right on the beach, although they also have cottages that are like in the Bay Area. And it's just beautiful. It's just really relaxing. We love it. Don't be surprised if you have some visitors join you while on the beach. You never know what helicopter is going to swoop down or what tanks are going to roll out towards the ocean. It's all part of the fun of visiting a military base. Yeah, so funny story. One of the first times that we stayed in one of those cottages, it was kind of early in the morning because on base, like everyone wakes up at the crack of dawn. There is this gas station, which again, it's like, it's not like a regular gas station. There's not like a 7-Eleven or anything. It's like, there's just pumps and then you just get the gas. Like you don't pay anyone or anything, right? But there's this gas station that's right across the way from these cottages. And I'm like hearing all these noises and I'm trying to sleep in because I'm on vacation, right? And my husband comes in, he's like, oh my God, you have to check this out. So I go outside and there's these military tanks that are waiting. It's just like cars would wait to go through the pump. And there's these huge tanks rolling on up. And I'm like, this is incredible. I couldn't find the video of that. I was going to try to include it, but I had to tell you guys about it because it's like, I mean, it's so common, just like that video you saw at the end. There's, people walking around all the time, they call them boots. Like that's kind of the slang. Oh, there's some boots over there. There's boots. So it's just military people in uniform. Right. But it's great. It's a lot of fun. I go get my hair done on base because it's like half the price.
Hey,
awesome. Nice.
Yeah. And then everyone that works in the salon that I go to, they're all wives of people that are in the military. So, I kind of get like caught up on what's happening and so is being transferred and stuff. So anyway, that was my little view of what it's like to be on Camp Pendleton. I don't know if any of our audience has ever been there. Have you guys ever been to Camp Pendleton?
Well, I've been not to Camp Pendleton, but in my career, I traveled all over the world for the Army and the Air Force. So I've been on about 30 different bases around the world doing my MWR, how to entertain the soldiers or the sailors or the airmen and all this stuff. And some of my favorite memories, one time we were at the DMZ and I took my boyfriend, Doug, with me. And I'm like, hey, do you want to go to the DMZ? That'd be so fun. And sure enough, he said yes. And so where most people take their boyfriend to the mountains, I took him to Korea. Okay, so then we are staying. They can't get us on the base in this particular thing. The base is sold out. So they put us at the Hyatt in Seoul. So we're at the Hyatt in Seoul. And we're like, let's walk around the downtown. And so we're walking around the downtown. I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll just go in this very fancy bank in downtown Seoul, Korea. And I walked in through a very fancy door and there was a hole in the floor in the middle of the thing. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know how to pee in a hole in Seoul, Korea in the downtown. So I said, well, we have to go back to the Hyatt and go to a regular restroom. But I had many, many great experiences with fabulous military people around the world. And when you're on an Air Force base, the rumble in the morning isn't the boots and the tanks. It's the planes taking off. So you're there and you're getting ready for your speech and then there go all the planes. So I love the military and had so many great experiences. A shout out to the service. So thanks, Sunny. It was fun to see a base and we shopped at the PX and we used to get, good wine cheap in Europe.
Oh yeah.
At the Yeah, like it was so fun.
Prices are incredible.
In the day.
Lindsay,
Yeah.
you've been on base too, right?
I've been on several different bases. I've been on Pendleton once, and I've been at Coronado multiple times, and a couple of others in different places. But my big claim to something that's really neat with military action is when I was first born, my parents moved from San Francisco to Seattle on the USS Ranger. My dad was in the
Oh.
Navy, and so I moved by default. I was 3 months old from California to Washington in the underbelly of a 5,000 person boat. Oh, no, wait, ship. Sorry. So
That's why you love cruises.
That's
why I
There
love
you go.
Exactly.
I am so, it was setting me up for success. But I will
That's
tell
it.
you that I love how we have really cool spaces and places saved and reserved for our military men and women to have some great experiences of life, even though they're also having to do jobs that sometimes are unpleasant. So
Yeah.
that's just awesome. Thanks for filming that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shay, any experience on bases? I know you love the military and all of our vets.
Yeah, I do a lot of work with veterans, but not on a base. However,
Okay.
I have been to Maxwell Gunter, which
Oh.
is an Air Force base in Alabama, in Montgomery, Alabama. So I have been there on base, and I was actually really surprised at how large it was. So when you were talking about Camp Pendleton being such a city, it's amazing how it's like a city within a city. So I
is.
love it. I love that, you brought light to that. So thank you for sharing your video.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's a fun place, definitely. Well, thank you guys. We do have some people that are posting comments. A lot of them are just about freedom in general, which I love. So ITU says, I declare my own personal freedom here, now, and in the future on all timelines, on all phases and levels, and it is done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For all of
awesome.
us, we declare that with you.
That's right. We agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we have our wow woman.
This is Real Talk. We discuss important issues impacting our world and how we as humanity can come together, overcome our obstacles, and move forward towards a bright and beautiful future.
And we're back. Woo! That was good. Good stuff. Man, I feel free. Don't you guys feel free? Like,
I
just
feel
shake it out. This is good. If we could have we need a freedom dance. I think there might be a dance party in this episode. I'm not really sure where this is going, but
Every
I had
episode.
the luxury. I got to be luxuriously entertained by what I would think is kind of the ultimate freedom. And as we were talking about sovereignty, and we're talking about finding your own personal freedom and declaring that freedom, one of the ways in which we can become more free is to become more conscious, right?
Mm.
And I got to meet with a woman. Her name is Isabel Zimmerman, and she is an ascension coach. I'm just going to share our woman of wonder today is Isabel. And she is absolutely the most delightful human that I have had the pleasure of meeting in the last 30 days. Just unbelievable. So rather than me trying to tell the whole story, why don't we go to the video where I interviewed her, and then I want to talk with you all about the freedom of sovereignty. Hey, everybody. It's Lindsay Andriotti from Underwired, and I am here with our fabulous woman of wonder, Isabel Zimmerman. Say hi, Isabel.
Hi, everyone.
Isabel is the founder of Attracting Wisdom, and you can find her at attractingwisdom.com, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're going to want to go check this out, I promise you. And Isabel is an ascension coach. So with our topic today on our show being all about freedom, one of the things I wanted to share with y'all is how I've gone through my own journey of freedom and freeing myself through this process of becoming more aware, more conscious, more enlightened, and fulfillment of ascension is our divine right. So I wanted to talk about that with Isabel today. Isabel, why don't we just talk for a minute? I'm going to let you take this microphone, and I want you to tell our audience, what is ascension? We hear that word, but it sounds so, ooh, I can't do that. Maybe you can. So here's Isabel.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. So this is my favorite subject, as I am an ascension teacher. And ascension is, when you think of the word ascension, you're thinking of rising, right? You are rising. You are lightening. Enlightenment is literally physically lightening up. Okay? So ascension is like a rise, but it's counterintuitive, because really what you're doing is you're descending into your soul field, into your spirit guides, into your inner being, understanding you are going in higher consciousness. There's the ascending.
There it is.
But you're going inward, within, to your inner being
I love it.
and higher self.
That's so cool. And I'll tell you, everybody, when I left Washington State in 2016, 17, and I really wasn't sure where I was going, what I discovered was I was going inward. And outward might have changed, but that was only so I could go inward. And the amount of freedom that I feel now, because I did that work and because I took the time to understand at a much deeper level, who am I? What am I here to do? Why do we exist as humans? That's ascension, and it is freedom on steroids. So I would love to have Isabel tell us a little bit more. We were chatting earlier about some of the steps, what happens in ascension, and tell us what people will learn when they actually go through the intentional ideation of doing it.
I would say to you, I work with many, many, many teachers and many, many humans or entities. And you have to understand that you are an energetic being. And if I say this to you, you'll understand that everything is energy. We were taught that in school, that there's a nucleus and there's protons and electrons. And then you uncover that the electron is the same in the sun, the moon, the stars, your cells, my cells. So we're all one, made of the same identical electron. That has mathematically been proven in our society. And it's not until the graduate level that you understand that we are all one. As a physicist, you understand the quantum field. So I would say to you, as you delve into your higher consciousness, you will bump up against the quantum field. You will understand energy, and you will start to feel energy differently. But in order to get to that level, I would say,
Where do you start?
where do you start, right?
Yeah, where do you begin?
Seek,
Seek.
read, be curious, become aware, meditate, for the love of God.
You will thank her if you do these things.
One thing I could say to everyone to assist in their awakening is, until you master meditation, breathing, focusing on your breath, allowing the thoughts to drift away from you, not attaching to any thought. And as you breathe, you follow the breath and you ground yourself. Perfect. And there are numerous guided meditations out there. You can go on YouTube. It does not cost you anything. You can go on Instant Timer. You can just breathe. Yeah. But that is a practice. Now, there are people who might run, or they might fish, or they knit, or they dance. Perfect. There are different ways of meditation. It is not the only way. However, I would say, think about it, pumpkins. What did Buddha do? Do you think he danced his way to enlightenment?
Some say he laughed his way to enlightenment, which
He
I'm
did.
in for that one.
He did. But Buddha also sat underneath that tree for 40 days, 40 nights and meditated. Yeshua, or Jesus, meditated. Saint Germain, which there's not a lot of historical data on this, but Saint Germain meditated. I would say all masters meditated. It's because in order to connect with your inner being, it's a delicate, when you reach a higher consciousness, which is gamma waves, it is a higher frequency. And you really, your lower mind, your ego mind vibrates at a certain frequency, and you have to really become still in order for your vibration to rise. So there's a lot of science around it, but I would say if you are beginning, look into meditation, look into esoteric teachings. There are more and more humans awakening.
Well, this is unfortunate that we have to stop here, but I will tell you that Isabel is truly a delight, and I have absolutely enjoyed speaking with her. Thank you so much for coming to my house. This is so great. So we have a woman of wonder outside the box, all in one. It's so good. I want to thank all of you for watching our show and for being part of this ascension process. I think we're all in this together. And if you choose the light side and you choose to go for your highest self, we all win. This is all for humanity. So the maximum freedom is baked into this process. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Aww.
Great
She
job,
was
Lindsay.
so awesome. She was just
Yeah.
amazing. We had, I think, about a 3-hour conversation after that. I was like, oh, Sonny's going to
Wow.
kill me if I record all this.
It was a long interview. I had to snip.
She did have to do a little
It was
chopping.
great.
I think what was really powerful for me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what did you hear? It was just really powerful for me to be in the space with someone who also feels that freedom through ascension, through looking for your higher best self, living your best life, being that person from the inside out that is a soul living this lifetime. It was so cool. So thoughts, ladies, I'm just going to throw it out there because I know we're running out of time today.
Okay, I've got an easy tip, because sometimes I have people think, oh, I got to learn to meditate for it to work, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Another great thing is card decks. I love
Mm.
angel card decks. I love goddess card decks. And I tell you, they are so accurate for me. So again, going back, weaving this thread all back in, at night I sit down and I listen to my angels and I pull my cards, right? Just for fun. And 4 times in a row, I got, your people in heaven are happy and safe. 4 times in a row, after totally just,
Nice.
mixing up the deck.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I just believe that if you find a way to be still and, like she said, listen, that your angels, your guides, your big God, everybody good is willing to come right in there and support you. And I think angels cards is a great 101 to get started in just the listening part. And I found them to be magical.
That's so good. That's great. Great comment. Oh, sweet. Shay, Sunny, either one of you have something you want to say?
Yeah, Lindsay, of course, we love talking about this, and with Isabel as well. So I love this. I love that you got her on here. And I think for me, it's really about the asking of the one question and then sitting, being the being still, right?
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
so crucial. To just listen, because oftentimes we get an answer, and even silence is an answer of not yet.
Yeah.
Right. And we sometimes forget that. We go, oh, the answer's got to come now. And sometimes then you have to ask again, restate your question to be like, can you tell me immediately? I need to know immediately what the answer
Right.
is.
Yeah.
Right.
Now.
And you might get the yes or no, or, don't do it or whatever. But it's funny when it's like, you just kind of put it out there that you may have to re-clarify it. So I love the be still part that she talked about.
There's somebody else who commented on that too, which is just listen to the silence. And
Yes.
I don't remember who it was. It was actually an actor, I think, who said that. But I've practiced that over and over, and it is amazing what happens if you just try to listen to the silence. Yeah, Sunny, go.
Isn't it
Yeah.
interesting, though, that our society goes exactly against that? Because if you are not doing, if you are not out
Right.
there doing
Yes.
something, and I think it's intentional. It is intentional, because when we reflect inward is when all this discovery happens. But that is not what our society tells us to do. Our society teaches us that it's out there. We got to go. It's out there. It's out there. No, it's in here.
Here.
And I
Here.
loved when she was talking about meditation. I kind of giggled because I'm like, oh, I'm not the best at doing that. But she brings up an incredible point. All these amazing teachers over the years, that's what they did.
Yeah.
They
Right.
reflected inward for the answers.
Yeah.
And so it was a great reminder for me. But I love that this is all a personal journey for each person.
Yeah.
What someone else is going through, it's what they're going through, you know,
That's
and you
right.
have to respect that too and not view that as a reflection on you. No, everyone's on their own journey here,
That's
but it's a
exactly
journey
right.
inward, right?
Yes. Yes.
And getting to know yourself and finding yourself again. I think it's beautiful.
It's so much fun. And I'm just grateful that we are all wow women right here. I'm just saying. And anybody who's listening right now, thank you for your comments regarding Isabel. And we encourage you to find that way to go inward so that your outward world reflects what you truly are. It's amazing. So with that, I am passing it over to, I think I'm going to Shay, because
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
talking about, we're closing this thing up. We've just completed our first
I
live
know.
show.
But before we go, we do want to say a couple of things. So thank you for being on Telegram with us. And I just want to say I just want to grab 2 comments that we got from AJK Green, that clearing out the dogma helps to be objective by loving to oneself, then to others. It also helps with the triggers we all tend to find within us. And then we got a love note as well from Miss Nyla. It says, love you, Sunny, Lindsay, Shay, and Betsy. Thank you for this great show. Always inspiring and fun. XOXO. So thank you all for watching. And please continue to subscribe to Telegram, our Telegram channel. And it is Underwired Live. And as you can see, we love to interact. So every week on Monday evenings at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, we will be back to Underwired Live, and we will put a post and we will start the stream of the comments. So we want your interaction. And like you saw here, we will interact. We will read your comment. We can't get to everyone, but man, are we excited that we have all these comments on there, and we will go back and comment as well. So thank you for that. And if we are able to use your information, please contact Lindsay, because what we do is we give a gift. We appreciate you so much. This is called a kindness coin. And it is, I have to tell you, it says humankind be both. And what a beautiful message, because that's literally why we're here, is because that's what our job is about being kind. And again, we just thank you so much for tuning in, for interacting with us, and we can't wait to see you until next week. And so, Sunny, I'm kicking it back to you.
Yes. So thank you guys. This was so much fun. We wish all of you guys not only a happy 4th for anyone that's in America, but our world, what do we call it? Our World Independence Day.
World
whatever we're gonna
Independence
call it.
Day. Woo!
Let's do it. Let's do it.
World Freedom Day.
World Freedom
Day,
Day.
yes.
World Freedom Day.
That's it. So yeah, keep on, guys. This was amazing. We'll see you back here next Monday. And you can also check us out on our website, which is underwiredlive.com, and of course on the United Network app. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
I just wanna let you know